upon a time, in the small village of Umeze, everyone knew everyone. Families lived close together, and secrets rarely stayed hidden for long. One such secret was brewing in the home of Chidi and Oluchi. They had been married for 10 years, but their home was silent without the laughter of children. Chidi was a proud man, always boasting about his family strength. He refused to believe there could be a problem with him. Oluchi, gentle and kind, had visited the herbal doctor many times. Each time she was told she was perfectly healthy, but still there was no baby. Their home was filled with tension. Chidi became more distant and cold, often blaming Oluchi for their childless home. Oluchi felt helpless and alone, crying herself to sleep many nights. Despite her pleas for them to adopt, Chidi remained firm. "I will never raise another man's child," he declared. "It has never happened in our family." Oluchi's family, the Okoros, tried to help. They visited Chidi asking him to consider adoption or even get tested himself. But Chidi was stubborn. "No man in my family has ever had problems like this. It is not me. It can never be me," he said angrily. The Okoros left in despair, and soon after, Chidi made a drastic decision. One cold evening, he packed Oluchi's things and told her to leave. "I can't spend my life with a barren woman," he said harshly. Oluchi begged him, tears streaming down her face. "Please, Chidi, we can try other ways. We can adopt," she pleaded. But Chidi wouldn't listen. He pushed her out, and Oluchi had no choice but to return to her family, heartbroken and lost. Life moved on in Umeze. Chidi remarried a younger woman named Onyi. Onyi was lively and hopeful, and Chidi believed his troubles were over. But as months passed, Onyi also failed to conceive. Tension grew between them. Onyi suggested they see a herbal doctor, and after much arguing, Chidi reluctantly agreed. They traveled to the outskirts of their village to see the herbal doctor. He gave him some native concoctions mixed in a bottle to drink and said, "Take 2 shots of this every time you want to be with your wife, and in a month's time, you will be a happy and an expectant father." This was after Onyi had confirmed that she was fit by the herbal doctor. Days turned into weeks, and 7 months down the drain, there was nothing to show for it. Onyi became so worried and insisted they see another herbal doctor. When they got to the doctor's place, he also mixed the same treatment for Chidi just like the other herbal doctor. Onyi immediately said, "Mazi, we already got the same treatment from Ikenna the herbalist at the outskirts of this village 7 months ago, and I am yet to get pregnant." "You mean Ikenna had given you this potion 7 months ago and you are yet to conceive?" "Yes, Mazi," Onyi replied. "This only means one thing," the herbal doctor said, delivering the shocking news. "Chidi is infertile. That is why you haven't gotten pregnant. He can never father a child." Onyechi was furious. She felt betrayed and trapped in a marriage with no future. She packed her things and left, refusing to stay with Chidi. "I want children. I can't stay here knowing that's impossible," she said, leaving Chidi alone and desperate. The news of Chidi's condition spread quickly. Umeze, with its close-knit community, buzzed with gossip. Women avoided Chidi, and he became a subject of ridicule. Lonely and ostracized, Chidi's thoughts returned to Oluchi, his first wife. He remembered how she had been willing to adopt, how kind and patient she had been. He realized his mistake and decided to find her and beg for forgiveness. Chidi gathered some gifts and went to Oluchi's family home. To his dismay, the Okoros told him she no longer lived there. Desperate, he asked her brother, Kamsi, to help him find her. Kamsi reluctantly agreed, pointing Chidi to a small house at the edge of the village. When Chidi got to the house, he knocked on the door, his heart pounding. Oluchi answered from her window. Chidi, what are you doing here? She asked sternly. Please, I have come to take you back, my love. Here, see all I brought to you, to ask for your forgiveness. Don't worry, we can adopt as many children as you want. I don't mind now. I know you still love me. Please come home with me. At this point, Oluchi opened the door and came out. Chidi was stunned to see her pregnant. How? He stammered, eyes wide with shock. As Oluchi stepped out, a man named Udoka appeared behind her. Is this not Chidi, the man who left you? He asked Oluchi, holding her protectively. Chidi was speechless. Udoka laughed. You're the one who couldn't have children, and now you're here begging? Leave my wife and unborn child alone. Your what? Yeah, you heard right. My wife and unborn child. Chidi ignored Udoka and fell to his knees, begging Oluchi to come back. Why did you remarry? I thought you loved me. So you can remarry and I can't? Oluchi said. Please leave my house and stop disturbing the peace of my household. Please, Oluchi, don't do this to me. I can still take you back even with your pregnancy. We will train your baby together. I promise to do anything to make you happy. But Oluchi looked at him with pity before turning and walking into her home with her husband's help. Oluchi's new husband, Udoka, comforted her. They had built a happy life together and she was expecting their first child. They both knew Chidi's pleas were too little too late. Chidi returned to his empty home, feeling the weight of his mistakes. The ridicule from the villagers grew, and he found himself more isolated than ever. He realized he has lost the best thing in his life through his pride and stubbornness. Chidi sat alone in his dark, empty house. The once proud man now felt the sting of loneliness. Every corner of his home echoed with the silence that had filled his life since Oluchi left. The villagers' gossip grew louder each day, and Chidi could hardly bear to leave his home. His pride, once a source of strength, has become his downfall. Weeks turned into months, and Chidi's isolation deepened. He spent his days reflecting on his past decisions, replaying every harsh word he had spoken to Oluchi. He remembered the joy in her eyes when she talked about adopting a child, a joy he had cruelly dismissed. Now, that joy was gone, replaced by the image of Oluchi with another man, expecting a child that could have been theirs if only he had listened. One evening, Chidi decided to take a walk to clear his mind. As he strolled through the village, he overheard conversations about Oluchi and Udoka. The villagers spoke of their happiness, their excitement for the baby on the way. Chidi's heart ached with regret, knowing he had pushed away the one person who had truly loved him. Determined to make amends, Chidi sought advice from the village elders. He explained his situation, hoping they could offer guidance. The elders listened patiently, nodding as he spoke. When he finished, they exchanged glances before one of them, Elder Okeke, spoke. Chidi, you have made grave mistakes. Pride has clouded your judgment, and now you must face the consequences. Oluchi is happy with Udoka, and it would be wrong to disrupt her life again. You must find a way to make peace with yourself and with the village. Chidi nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. But how can I live with this regret? How can I move on knowing I lost everything? Elder Okeke sighed. You must learn to forgive yourself, Chidi. Seek forgiveness from those you have wronged and find a new purpose in life. Help others, and through your actions, you may find redemption. Taking the elders' advice to heart, Chidi began to change. He started volunteering in the village, helping with repairs and offering his skills to those in need. Slowly, the villagers began to see a different side of Chidi, a man humbled by his mistakes and willing to make amends. One day, Chidi decided to visit Oluchi's family again. He knew it was a long shot, but he needed their forgiveness to truly move forward. As he approached their home, he felt a wave of anxiety wash over him. Taking a deep breath, he knocked on the door. Kamsi answered, surprised to see Chidi standing there. What do you want, Chidi? He asked, his tone weary. I came to apologize, Chidi said, his voice trembling. I know I have no right to ask for forgiveness, but I need to make amends for what I've done. Please, let me speak to your parents. Kamsi hesitated, but eventually nodded, stepping aside to let Chidi in. The Okoros were seated in the living room, their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. Chidi bowed his head in respect before speaking. Mr. and Mrs. Okoro, I am deeply sorry for the pain I have caused your daughter and your family. My pride and stubbornness blinded me to what truly mattered. I regret my actions every day, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I am not here to ask for Oluchi back. I understand that she is happy now. I simply want to apologize and make things right. Mr. Okoro, a stern man with a kind heart, looked at Chidi with a mixture of sympathy and disappointment. Chidi, we appreciate your apology. It takes a lot of courage to admit one's mistakes. Oluchi suffered greatly because of you, and it was hard for us to see our daughter in pain. However, we also believe in forgiveness and second chances. We will accept your apology, but remember, you must live with the consequences of your actions. Chidi felt a weight lift off his shoulders. Thank you, Mr. Okoro. I promise to live a life that honors your forgiveness. With the Okoro's forgiveness, Chidi continued his journey of redemption. He became a mentor to young men in the village, teaching them the importance of humility and the dangers of pride. He shared his story openly, hoping to prevent others from making the same mistakes. One afternoon, as Chidi was walking in the village square, he saw a familiar face approaching him. It was Udoka. Chidi's heart raced, unsure of what to expect. Udoka stopped in front of him, his expression serious. Chidi, can we talk? Udoka asked. Chidi nodded, wiping his hands on his trousers. Of course, Udoka. What is it? Udoka took a deep breath. I wanted to thank you for what you did. Apologizing to Oluchi's family was a brave thing. She told me about it, and it brought her some peace. I also wanted to say that I hold no grudge against you. We are all human, and we all make mistakes. Chidi was taken aback by Udoka's words. Thank you, Udoka. Your kindness means more to me than you know. I am truly happy for you and Oluchi. You both deserve all the happiness in the world. Udoka nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. We are all part of this village, Chidi. Let's work together to make it a better place for everyone. From that day on, Chidi and Udoka worked side by side, contributing to the well-being of Umeze. Their collaboration set an example for the entire village, showing that reconciliation and cooperation were possible even after deep conflict. Oluchi, now a mother, watched from a distance as the two men who had been part of her life worked together. She felt a sense of closure and peace, knowing that both Chidi and Udoka had found a way to move forward. Her new life with Udoka and their child was filled with love and laughter, a stark contrast to the pain she had endured. Years passed and Umeze flourished. Chidi became a respected elder in the community, known for his wisdom and humility. He never remarried, choosing instead to devote his life to helping others and making amends for his past. His home, once filled with silence and regret, became a place of learning and growth for the village youth. One day, as Chidi was sitting under a tree, watching the children play, a young boy approached him. The boy had heard stories about Chidi's past and was curious. "Uncle Chidi, is it true that you were once very proud and made many mistakes?" the boy asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. Chidi smiled gently. "Yes, it's true. I was proud and made many mistakes. But I learned that it is never too late to change and make things right. We must always strive to be better, to learn from our past, and to help others do the same." The boy nodded thoughtfully. "I want to be like you, Uncle Chidi. I want to help people and make a difference." Chidi's heart swelled with pride, not the kind that had once blinded him, but a humble pride in knowing he had made a positive impact. "You will, my boy. Just remember to always be kind, to listen to others, and to admit when you're wrong. That is the true path to greatness." As the boy ran up to join his friends, Chidi leaned back against the tree, a sense of contentment washing over him. His journey had been long and painful, but it had led him to a place of peace and fulfillment. He had lost much, but he had also gained a deeper understanding of his life, love, and the power of forgiveness. In the end, Umeze remained a village where everyone knew everyone and secrets were rare. But it was also a village where people learned from their mistakes, where they grew and helped each other, and where even the most broken relationships could find a path to healing. Chidi's story became a legend in Umeze, a reminder of the dangers of pride and the redemptive power of humility and love. It was told to children by the fireside, passed down through generations as a lesson in humanity. And so, the village of Umeze continued to thrive, a close-knit community bound not just by proximity, but by the shared experiences and lessons of its people. And at the heart of it all was Chidi, a man who had fallen from grace but had risen again, transformed by the very flaws that had once brought him down. Thank you for watching. Please kindly support the channel by subscribing. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. And please hit the like button so that more people can see this story. Don't forget to share to your friends and family and leave your thoughts in the comments section. Until I come your way again, I remain Amarachi, your favorite storyteller. Goodbye.